He gave me his blessing. And I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life.
Welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Will and Jada and August Alsina. But we're going to be really focusing on open marriages. Can they actually work? What is the point of having one? If you're new to the channel, do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for a notification of the uploads. For those of you returnees, and you got the minerals. You got the minerals. Alright, listen. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We're going to be talking to you guys, obviously, about this particular issue. So obviously with open relationships, these rumors have been going on for a little while. I think really like 2000s for Jada and Will, and actually this is actually really much concreted, or so I said cemented into a quote that Will Smith gave to the Daily Mail in 2005. And I've actually got the article here. Click on the link down below for the rest of it. It says here, "Our perspective is you don't avoid what's natural," said Smith. "You're going to be attracted to people. In our marriage vows, we didn't say forsaking all others. The vow that we made was that you will never hear that I did something after the fact." Whew. Hold on a minute. Just pause right there. What are you trying to say, Will? You're saying in your marriage vows, you didn't talk about forsaking others. You just said in your marriage vows that you will never hear that I did something after the fact. So basically you're saying that there will be probably potentially cheating, or there will probably be us accepting us to go out of our relationship. But just know, obviously you will never hear it from anybody else. You will hear it from me first. Which kind of lines up with the fact that August Alsina said that Will Smith gave him his blessing. Alright, cool. The vow that we, if it came down to it, then one can say to the other, look, I need to have sex with somebody. I'm not going to if you don't approve of it, but please approve of it. Smith said that he was forced to admit he had sexual feelings for the other woman when working on his film Hitch, in which he stars with Eva Mendes, who described as freaking gorgeous. Okay? So listen, I want to just play this. I think that's very explicitly said. It's violent the way he spoke it. You can't even say anything else above it. Man specifically told us straight that, listen, my guy, we didn't say it in our vows, forsaking others. We said it in our vows. We said something completely different that you'll never hear after the fact. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so here's the thing about open relationships. Very much often they can be lauded and said, oh, these are great open relationships because, you know, people can be honest about what they're going to do. But here's my main crux of open relationship, my main crux of open relationship, and especially open marriage as well. Wow, I've cut my hand. Didn't even realize. Here's my main crux with these particular things. The whole point of actually being in a marriage is that two people are connecting and committing. And the fact is, marriage is meant to mirror what God did for man. Okay? Now, marriage is about how God faithfully loves us, irrespective of our own behavior as a bride. He still kept us, right? He still chased after. So we sing, I'm chasing after you, no matter what I have to do, because I need you. You know what I'm saying? So we understand that marriage is meant to be a monogamous thing. Now, are there instances in the Bible where people have polygamy going on? Yes, let's for instance take Abraham in the Bible, okay? Abraham had his wife Sarah and then had Hagar. But what happened to Hagar? Okay, Hagar had to exit. Okay, cool, we had Jacob and Leah. What happened with Jacob and Leah? What happened to Leah? Okay, Leah was less loved than Rachel. Alright, cool. Let's go to Solomon. He had 700 wives or whatever, 300 concubines. What happened there? Okay, he couldn't give all his time to all his wives. Okay, what happened to David and his wives? Oh, he stole somebody else's wife, even though he had many wives already. Listen, it never ends well. These relationships don't end well. So the examples that you use in the Bible, they don't end well. You understand? So monogamy is what God has always instructed and God has always wanted from man. That's why it was Adam and Eve, not Adam, Eve, Steve, Ben, and Clara Bennett and everything like that for each other. It was two people, right? Because it says two shall become one. Now let's talk about open relationships, okay? So they say open relationships are about honesty and isn't about cheating. All right, okay, cool. This a relationship is about how a group or a people or a set of persons relate to one another, right? So in an open relationship, how they're relating is that they are allowing themselves either to emotionally connect with other people outside of the relationship or to sexually connect with other people outside of their immediate relationship. But guess what? To have an open relationship, there must be a base relationship. to have an open relationship, there has to be a foundational relationship for there to be an open relationship. Yeah? Because you're not equally doing everybody else. You have a base where you come back from. I'm yet to see an open relationship where two parties say, actually, we're not the base. We just do whatever we want to do. In fact, I'll speak about this later on. When I did the research, one of the ways that people say that the way they understand about open relationship is that the main person who's your open relationship is the main priority. How can that be so? You can't have the two. It's a juxtaposition. To have your main, see, you're trying to have your main base and say we have an open relationship, yeah? So this whole open relationship is not really open. What you are saying is that it's gonna be us two, and then we're gonna be able to dabble a little bit as much as we wanna dabble. Just be honest, y'all ain't got the commitment skills. Just be honest, y'all feel being locked down. Let's be honest, y'all feel being committed. Let's be honest, y'all haven't got the balls to keep yourself disciplined, so you want to have sex with other people. Let's just be honest, because even single people who are monogamous also themselves fall prey to cheating, you understand, and committing adultery, because they haven't got discipline, right? And because our emotions speak louder than our actual commitment and duty to what we said as being committed to one another, right? So no one's free from this. I'm just saying to you quite obviously that open relationships require a base, which require a monogamous relationship in the first place in order for it to be open. That's a juxtaposition. That's what I'm trying to say. There is no such thing as open relationship. There's no such thing as open relationship. What there is you guys going to have sex or commit emotional adultery with other people. You understand? Right? Because you have a base. All right, cool. Let's continue. And open marriages. Let's just see. And I spoke about the base being, in a part of an open relationship. The same base the same base in open relationship is the same base that a cheater has. Let's talk about why I'm going to say that. The reason why I'm saying that is because the same way a cheater, like for instance, someone who's committed to a relationship, someone who's in a marriage, doesn't leave his wife or husband, but will continue to cheat with other people, but they will never leave their husband or wife. Why? Fear. It's not. You see, the cheating is a way of control, a way of having power over their circumstances and situation, right? It's a way of getting what they have, having their cake and eating it, and abusing someone else in order to get their way to doing it, although it doesn't look like that, right? So having a base, that's why when people cheat oftentimes, especially when it's marriage, they don't just leave. You understand? Like when it's a husband or wife, they don't just leave. No. They're going to cheat and they'll be like, yeah, I'm going to leave. And they never leave. Why? Not because divorce is costly. No, because actually the base is important. The base is so important, right? The base gives me the ability to have safety, because what a base is safety net. It allows me to have a comfort. When I fall, I can fall back to somebody here, right? Because even though I'm making great connections that are emotional and sexual, it's still not enough to have the base that I needed. Because if it was, I'd be over there. But the truth of the matter is, none of those connections I'm making out of there are actually good enough, so I keep my base. It's a safety net. Yes, when I fall back onto my safety net. Yeah? When I've had enough of the sex and when I've had enough of your trash talking, I'll come back here. Just like a cheater does. Oh, I've had enough of you. I'm coming back to my missus, right? I'm going to give her the love that she deserves at this time, at this place, right? And then, oh, I got tired of her now. I'm going back out to cheat with another girl or another missus, right? Same with, and I'm saying it just as one way, but don't worry, ladies do this as well, right? So it's all about having that base, which is a safety net for your emotions and a safety net so that you don't get hurt. Right? This is why open relationships really is about your fear. Yeah, they keep saying we're open and honest. Yes, you are open and honest in some instances, but you're not speaking about the fear aspect of things, right? Which is that you fear. That's why you have a base that you come back to. Because if it was really as it was, you'd be dating, right? If you were really open-ended, you'd just be dating. That's what you'd be doing. Huh? Why not just do that? Why have you got to commit to a marriage and then have it open? It defeats the purpose of the object. Do you know what I mean? The thing is this: how is it conducive to rear kids in an environment where you keep it very open? How is it conducive for a child to see their father not committed to their mother but having several women? How is it conducive for a daughter to see her father go out with many women? How is it conducive for that son to see their mother out there with different men? How is it conducive to rear a child in that environment? Please, somebody tell me, because many of your psychologists will tell you straight, they need a mother and a father. So to see a mother and a father cheating on somebody else, or let's say open honesty, I'm sure, I'm going to tell you now, the kids will be a little bit messed up, because we're not born to be that way. We are born to be monogamous. were born to be in a relationship with two people. And when I say monogamous, it takes a village to raise a child, yes. But I'm also stating the fact that obviously to see someone who's not faithful, because regardless of what you call it, whether we're honest or not, you weren't faithful. Let's just be honest, you weren't faithful. And as much as people want to play it, yeah, it's their own kind of thing. I don't care. I'm just giving you the facts of when you're talking about open relationship, it's about what you want. But marriage is about sacrifice. And there are times where you have to sacrifice. And I say that loosely because I also have an understanding that it should be compromise, not sacrifice. If you have to sacrifice, you end up dying. But what I mean by sacrifice in this sense is the fact that we give up things. Yeah, we give up certain aspects. We give up certain things we want to do. As a husband, I speak to many guys, especially like when I was at the gym, right? And many guys tell me, I can't even gym as much now. You know, now I've got a kid, now I've got a wife, I've got to make sure I look after them too. Sacrifice. The selfishness of an open relationship is about, oh, that's what I want. It's what I feel. It's what I need, right? And it's masked with, oh, we speak and we tell each other what we need. If you told each other what you need, you wouldn't be in an open relationship. Blah. You wouldn't be in an open relationship because that person should be able to provide what you need. Now, I also have a thing which is obviously that I don't think one person can supply all your needs, but in a sense of that's why we have friendship groups, right? But hey, let's talk about that. Another thing, keeping up monogamy sells. Woo, shele baribasa. Keeping up monogamy sells in the media. Do you know that? That you see that Jada and Will, right? Keeping up this appearance about monogamy, it makes money. People invest in them because they see this princess kind of vibe. They see this, oh, two people making it through, this great marriage lasting long. And so actually monogamy sells. Being open relationship doesn't sell. Why? Because there's no commitment. And it's not stable. Because unstableness doesn't sell. When something's unstable, it's unpredictable, it's not easy to market and sell. What is stable is somebody in a long-term relationship and marriage. Hence why people stay in marriages, because we like to have a same pattern. We like to have stability. We like to have things that don't change. You understand? Open relationships don't save a relationship. Yeah, if you were monogamous before and you went into an open relationship and you say, it saved our relationship. No, it didn't. It ended it. It ended it right then when you considered it and said, we're going to do an open relationship. Your relationship deaded. Do you understand? Your relationship deaded because the perspective of change has happened to your relationship. You no longer interact between us two. You've opened it up to other people involving. Now, can you do it? Yes, you can. You can do whatever you want. Feel free. The Bible says that we have freedom, but we shouldn't use our freedom for just anything. But you go ahead and do what you're doing. I'm not cussing. I'm not even trying to judge. But I am going to speak to people as well who are considering an open relationship, that this is not an open relationship, just go and date. Why wouldn't you go and just date? The problem is because you don't have a base and you want that safety net. So let's really deep it if you really want an open relationship. Let me break down some things. I was on Cosmopolitan and they were talking about some things that people who are in open relationships speak about. It said, in an open relationship, it forces you to confront your insecurities. You should be doing that in a relationship anyway. That's monogamous. That ain't no different. In monogamy, you will face challenges. You will find out that insecurities will start to show. You have to love yourself a lot. You need to do that in monogamous relationships. If you don't, that leads to point one, which is that insecurities begin to breed. If you don't begin to know how to love yourself, how you need time for yourself, that leads into insecurity. Number three, tell your partner everything. Why wouldn't you tell your partner everything before that? I don't understand why you'd go into an open relationship to tell your partner everything. You should be doing that anyway. All right, cool. Don't force it or push things when you want things your way. Same thing. It should be the exact same thing in a monogamous relationship. I'm confused as you're not doing anything different apart from the fact you're allowing yourself to have more sexual partners. But hey, cool, let's go on. Keep expectations in check with your emotions. Yes, because in a monogamous relationship, also there are times where I can't do something that you want me to do. Keep your expectations at bay. Manage those expectations. It's the same thing. Also, when I say I'm going to do something, I should do it. I should do what I said on the tin because you have expectations. Because I've made a promise, I should fulfill it. All right. You need to get real with how you feel about your emotions. Why don't you do that in a relationship? I already told you guys about intimacy. There are 7 forms: financial, emotional, experiential, spiritual, physical, sexual. You understand? Yeah, mental as well. They're all part of intimacies, right? And you need emotional intimacy, which means the ability to share your emotions. Why weren't you doing that in a relationship that's monogamous? But you waited till you're in an open relationship. Really deep it. What you're actually saying is this. when we were in a monogamous relationship, we feared actually opening up. We were scared to lose one another. When we got into an open relationship, we no longer feared losing each other because we were able to have whatever we wanted to have. We were open to other devices out there. We're open to other partners. Therefore, my fear of losing you now surrendered because at any moment I can go. At any moment I can grow. At any moment I have partners. All right. One thing never said about open relationship is that that there is a form of jealousy that is also that is never really spoken about, right? When your partner is dating other people, and so here it says obviously you should schedule, your schedule your meetings with other people, right? But you should have been scheduling your life anyway. If you know you have friends or family, you know this. If you're in a monogamous relationship, you schedule meetings with your friends and everything like that because your relationship is the main priority. So so what you're doing is basically doing what people do in monogamous relationships. It says about be patient. You should be patient anyway. I don't know what a right reason can be for you to be in an open relationship. It makes no sense. What's a right reason to go into an open relationship? Somebody tell me. What's the right reason to go into an open relationship? Oh, because I feel like I want to have other sexual partners. Is that a right reason? Surely you should just be single, right? Surely you should just start dating, right? Why would you need to be in an open relationship in a relationship? Makes no sense. All right. Share your phone conversations. Shouldn't you be doing that in a relationship anyway? Like, and if you and when I say even doing that anyway, we don't do that anyway because actually we want a form of privacy as well as we are in going to be in a relationship. We also want a sense of individual self, right? Privacy, because we have conversations with friends that are, I would say, are confidential, right? And so if you have to show every conversation that you have with somebody, again, it's to obviously keep that transparency. Like I said, there is no real difference to how people are in a normal relationship. They have to share those thoughts and those feelings, right? So say stick with the game plan. So how many partners can you have? How many times can I meet those people? Are they new people? Can we meet reoccurring people? Like, fam, it's absolutely mad. Like, to think to yourself that people would want to. It's not mad because I understand cheaters do the same thing. You know what I mean? The cheaters do the exact same thing. They have to plan their stuff. Make sure they do what it is. So it's basically just licensed cheating. That's really what it is. I'm going to be real with you. I'm very harsh in this, isn't it? I'm probably too harsh. Someone's going to say, like, you should allow them. It's not a thing. And here's the thing. The final point that they made is that main partner must be a priority. So your main partner must be your number one priority. So then what is the point of being in an open relationship if your main partner must be the main priority? You've basically just said, obviously, you want to have sex with other people, right? But the whole point of it is it's self-serving. And a marriage is not meant to be self-serving. That's why I said it doesn't work. An open marriage, a marriage is not meant to be about self-serving. It's about serving others, right? It's about serving others. It's about putting the other person first. So how does an open marriage set that you're putting other first? Do you understand? Like, that's what blows my mind. I don't know, but obviously with Will and Jada, obviously I get, these guys have been on rumors for a long time, and they've had their fair share of things, and I think someone even put up a picture of Charlie Theron or whatever her name is, or Theron or Forzan or whatever her name is, was leaning on Will Smith during Focus or whatever, and it looked very, very cozy. And there's a few other pictures that they showed, obviously, of potentially someone could be in an open relationship. Here's the thing. Look, before you really consider open relationship, I remember, who was it that did an open relationship? I can't remember, Shannon Body, right? And I remember that they started off with an open relationship, and where did it end up? Closed. Because the truth of the matter is, jealousy is going to set in. The truth of the matter is, this is an excuse for my lack of admittance to the fact I'm scared. I'm scared of committing to one person. I'm scared that I can't complete this. And it's a very fanciful, very nice way of putting it, that basically I don't know how to say that I fear commitment, so I'll just say, oh, I want an open relationship because I have other partners. When every individual wants to feel special. How do you feel special when obviously you know that it's got other partners? I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. Like I said, the Bible gives us examples of this and it never works. Like, you see the people suffering. But anyway, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads, and we appreciate you. Stay locked, stay loaded. More love.